Alright, welcome back to CelJaded playing Total Extreme Wrestling 2020, this time for Tuesday, week 4 of March 2006. Another episode of SmackDown on the road to WrestleMania 22. The next set of episodes will be the go-home shows, if you can believe it, to WrestleMania. So we have to keep a little bit in reserve for this episode. So it's going to be a little bit of a quieter show than normal, but we're still starting off pretty strong because we've got Rey Mysterio inviting JBL to throw down tonight, with JBL showing up to taunt Rey. So this is part of the United States Championship tournament, of course. JBL is still awaiting his semi-final match with Tajiri, and Rey Mysterio doesn't want to wait to find out who he will be facing at WrestleMania for the vacant US Championship. He wants a piece of JBL right now because JBL has been doing nothing but criticizing, taunting, and throwing shade at Rey Mysterio for weeks on end, and Rey Mysterio has had enough. He wants JBL in the ring, and doesn't care about any tournaments tonight. He just wants action. So that is the situation. JBL, of course, right there with him on the microphone. And now it is Shane McMahon who interrupts this scene to tell both men that they will be in a tag team match tonight, because our main event will feature Rey Mysterio teaming up with Tajiri to face JBL and Paul Burchill. So that is going to be our main event. Like I said, a bit of a quieter one for a change, but equally still important, as we get to shine a bit of a light here on our mid-card. And any match with Rey Mysterio when you know is going to get a high rating nonetheless. So looking forward to that one when we reach the end of the program. But until then, we have got Jamie Noble here in a quick match against Tatanka, just giving him a pin and a little bit of momentum here on SmackDown. So a nice little extra note about this, as we've kind of alluded to before. Jamie Noble has crossed a popularity threshold that allows him to hold a match down, hold the audience's attention, should I say, in a singles match with a lower card worker like Tatanka. So this is pretty good news that things are kind of going in the right direction here, that the roster is improving and the popularity of some of the lower card workers is improving, so that now if we need a nice little filler match here, Jamie Noble is someone that can step in and do it for us, at least for the moment. So good stuff here with Jamie Noble just getting a win over Tatanka. And after the match, it is Shane McMahon, who of course is the allied with Jamie Noble in storyline at the moment, kind of comes out here with a round of applause for Noble. And he invites the Mexicals, who invade the scene here, to sign a binding contract with his men next week. So this, of course, is part of the ongoing storyline between the Mexicals and Shane's crew here. Shane's crew, of course, have been putting the screws to the Mexicals for months now, and the Mexicals have been rebelling against Shane's authority ever since he took over SmackDown. So the situation is the Mexicals have finally stopped interfering in Cash and Noble's matches. They've finally stopped interfering in Shane's business, but only so long as he accepts their challenge. And Shane McMahon has thought it over, and Jamie Noble and Kid Cash have been on a little bit of a hot streak recently with the Mexicals not interfering, so they have agreed. They will be signing a contract next week, apparently. So on the go-home show of SmackDown leading up to WrestleMania, Shane McMahon is going to make the Mexicals an offer that they can't refuse. So look forward to that one when we get back to it next week. And great stuff here. A strong segment from Randy Orton, who's on fire at the moment. Of course, the challenger to Dave Batista's World Heavyweight Championship, and will be facing that man at WrestleMania. Randy Orton is here to say that he'll kill the legend of Batista before it's even born. So he's going a bit dark, is he, Randy? The legend killer himself. We've really been doing what we can to heat this guy up in recent times. Of course, he's the Royal Rumble winner, and has a couple of tag team matches over Batista as well, and plenty of hot promos, and this is just one more to add to his collection. Again, trying to make this issue between him and Batista, his former buddy, as personal as we can. So Randy Orton has it out for Batista on SmackDown. You wouldn't expect anything less. And this is starting to become a more familiar sight as well. It is Stacy Keibler here and Akira is in the women's locker room when Stacy enters with another pitch. So Stacy Keibler, of course, a manager in WWE, is very, very eager to acquire Akira Hokuto as a client. She's a huge fan of Akira, apparently, but Akira is not playing ball, and in this segment, it's no different, because even though Stacy comes in with yet another pitch, telling Akira how great it will be when she's finally a client of Stacy's, Akira just grabs her and ejects her from the locker room. So Stacy Keibler still not having much luck with Akira Hokuto on SmackDown, unfortunately. But here is one man who's been having some success, and it's Matt Hardy. And he is here now with The Miz and Trinity, of course, the two people he has been involved in a bitter feud with in recent times on SmackDown. But Matt Hardy has been away for a while because The Miz said that if Matt Hardy wanted a rematch with him, then he needed to cut weight. He needed to slim down, and he needed to be a cruiserweight, because The Miz is cruiserweight champion and he needs to defend that title and will not wrestle Matt Hardy unless he is of the right weight class. So this is it. Matt Hardy has been training over the past couple of weeks. We've seen the video montages. Trinity didn't think he was going to get there. The Miz didn't think he was going to make it. And now we're going to find out. And we are playing this straight. So we did give Matt Hardy the note to cut weight in game, which is one thing that you could do. His matches were actually being penalised for the longest time because of this, as he tried to slim down. So now we're going to find out if he actually managed to do it in time. So the weigh-in is now. Did Matt Hardy get to cruiserweight status? Did he become a lightweight is the question. Will he be able to challenge for that cruiserweight title at WrestleMania? We're about to find out as the weigh-in goes ahead. And yes, he did it, folks. Matt Hardy is a lightweight on TEW, and he will be eligible to face The Miz for the Cruiserweight Championship. And The Miz, in a fit of panic here, attacks Matt Hardy from behind, but Matt Hardy was ready, and he dumps him out the ring before standing tall. So good stuff here between Matt Hardy and The Miz. Another personal issue that's been brewing on SmackDown for quite a while. And this is the scene. Matt Hardy has done it. The Miz has nowhere left to run. The last excuse that Miz had to try and avoid the wrath of Hardy has failed, because Matt has become a cruiserweight and will be challenging for that title at WrestleMania. And a nice little bonus here as well is that I'm not sure if I misread this or not, or whether it was due to something else, but it appeared to me that when Matt Hardy crossed over into the cruiserweight weight class on TEW, that some of his stats actually went up. I think his star quality stat went up, for example. I'm not sure if maybe some of his others did, but really good stuff, really positive stuff. Matt Hardy was able to do it. I was going to play this straight. If he wasn't able to cut weight in time, then we might go in a different direction with this storyline, but all is well, because Matt Hardy is a cruiserweight, and yes, you look forward to seeing him and The Miz for that title at WrestleMania. So really good stuff. Really kind of pleased with how that story has turned out. Really nice. And next we've got Johnny Nitro and Joey Mercury here escorting their manager Melina to the ring, because of course we need a women's match on SmackDown, and who are you going to call but Melina, because she is definitely our biggest star on the women's side in SmackDown. And she will be in action right now with Gail Kim. All right, and a good match as well. So not much heat, as Melina's the only one with the popularity to hold down the match in that sense, but good, decent wrestling. That's exactly what we want to see, and it is Melina going over here in short order against Gail Kim. But I tell you what, a decent performance from Gail as well, so definitely a good pickup from our women's division was Gail. And a strong segment rating here for sure. Really good work from Melina. Let's have a quick look how we're doing. We're still getting the inexperienced penalties for the moment, but again, we're closing the gap now. That Melina's experience might finally be able to cross over, and we'll get rid of that penalty, and hopefully the matches will get even better. So great stuff here from Melina, as always. And then afterwards, after Melina returns to the backstage area, we kind of cut to the back after a short break, and it is Melina now finally getting caught backstage by Aja Kong, who has had it out for Melina for quite a while. Melina has been ducking her ever since, But now, when confronted face to face with Aja Kong, Melina immediately begs off, like the heel shit that she is, and swears that she will pay Aja back soon. She's been looking all over for Aja Kong, didn't you know? Yeah, so Melina says that she'll pay Aja back, and we'll have to find out what form that will take on another segment of SmackDown. But for now, we are back with JBL, who is coaching Paul Burchill ahead of their tag match later tonight. And yeah, Paul's still really struggling, despite having very capable entertainment stats. Paul Burchill really struggling off script. I'm not sure if popularity rating has something to do with this that makes it harder for him or not, but yeah, Paul's really been struggling in some of these segments, so hopefully he can get himself out of that funk soon. But nevertheless, it is JBL and Paul Burchill, of course, that will be teaming up in the main event tonight. And yeah, we'll just focus on the in-ring side of things when we get there. I'm sure it'll be much better. And now we've got Stacy Keibler, who tries her luck impressing Akira once again, only for Akira to toss her out again. So just revisiting this scene from earlier, Stacy comes back into the room after being chucked out by Akira. And yeah, despite having a fresh pitch lined up, it does not go well for her as she is unceremoniously dumped one more time by Akira, throwing her out of the locker room. So yeah, just really not going Stacy's way. But you know, keep trying. If at first you don't succeed and all that. And now we are back with William Regal, who formally challenges The Undertaker to a match at WrestleMania. So the last time we saw William Regal, he was pledging to end The Undertaker's streak at WrestleMania. He didn't get a chance to make any sort of formal challenge at that time because The Undertaker showed up on the scene. And yeah, William Regal was kind of spooked by the terrifying display that The Undertaker put on. A very vengeful Undertaker, we should say, after the things that William Regal has been doing to destabilize the dead man, both physically and mentally. But nonetheless, William Regal's looking more confident now and says yes, that to end the streak, he must face Undertaker at WrestleMania. The challenge has been formally issued now. He wants the dead man at WrestleMania. So that would be a huge match if Undertaker accepts. And wow, the Undertaker immediately answering the challenge as he emerges from under the ring. Classic spot, we've seen it many times, but nonetheless, oldie but a goodie here. It is Undertaker emerging from the pits of hell and catches Regal unawares here and chokeslams him. And then, after retrieving the microphone, says the two words very simply, I accept. And there are no conditions to this. Undertaker is rallying, and William Regal has awoken the dead man. Will he pay for it? We'll just have to wait and see. But very strong segment rating here for two really capable talents on SmackDown. So really, really good segment. Pleased with this one. And next we are with Johnny Nitro and Joey Mercury, Eminem of course, talking about climbing the ladder to immortality at WrestleMania because they are the WWE Tag Team Champions. We know that the Tag Team Championships for the Raw and SmackDown brand are due to be unified at WrestleMania in a 5-way ladder match. And this is an opportunity for Eminem to strut their stuff and have a quick little bit of promo time talking about what that match means to them and how they are going to climb that ladder and make themselves the undisputed best tag team in WWE, the best tag team that they know they already are. So nice promo here from Eminem as we move on to our next segment where they will be wrestling, and it is a win that they get over Chavo and Scotty, one of our newer tag teams that we recently put together. And yeah, lots of green bonuses here for this one and a half decent rating as well. So yeah, kind of pleased with this one. And yeah, I'm not sure if I've noticed this before, but it says Nitro and Mercury have great chemistry. I assume that note was always there and I just kept missing it. A tag team specialist bonus as well. I'm not sure if that's a kind of thing that teams will earn if they spend enough time tagging together or not. But either way, really good news. And yeah, lots of bonuses here. Eminem, very, very capable talents in the tag team division. So yeah, love to see this one. Really, really good stuff. And then after the match, it's just an extension of what we saw earlier because Eminem are posing for the cameras with their belts, which they point skywards to hint, of course, where those belts will be located in the match at WrestleMania. And yeah, very confident are the WWE Tag Team Champions ahead of that match coming very, very soon, of course. Alright, so we are closing in now on the main event, but before we get there, we have got Tajiri, who is practicing his kicks in the training room with Rey Mysterio. So just a quick segment here to show these guys partnering up tonight. Of course, they could be opponents at WrestleMania. And you can imagine what kind of a match that would be with these two high flyers. You can imagine that would be pretty special. So looking forward to Tajiri and Rey Mysterio teaming up later in the program. Not long to wait now. And then we are back with our World Heavyweight Champion Batista, who laughs off Randy Orton's comments from earlier when he said he was going to kill the legend of Dave Batista before it could even begin. And yeah, Batista making the point here that the legend of Batista, as Orton has called it, has already begun. So, yeah, slight correction, Dave says here, that Batista is already becoming a legend in our time here, whether Randy Orton likes it or not. So again, just more to the war of words between these two men. It's only getting more personal and more heated by the day. And with segment ratings like this, you really can't complain. I think this one was better than Randy's as well. So great stuff from Dave. Good improvisation. Like to see that from him. And speaking of things we like to say, it is Akira here, Hokuto, who has seen the last of Stacy Keibler, or at least she hopes. And when Stacy comes back in, yet again, Akira once again goes to toss her out. But this is when Stacy has a bit of luck, finally, by placating Akira with a shiny gift. So what is that gift, do you think? Who knows? Maybe it's maybe it's like a posh samurai sword or something. Well, maybe that would be a bit stereotypical, but I think that'd be the kind of gift that Akira could look pretty cool wielding a sword. But nonetheless, Stacy here finally making an inroad with Akira with a shiny gift. So yeah, I'll leave that up to your imagination what the gift actually was. But Stacy finally seems to have found some luck trying to talk to Akira, at least for the moment. Just a shame, unfortunately, that on all three occasions here, Stacy Keibler struggling when going off script. So this is a real shame because Akira seems to do really strongly without the script, and Stacy appears to be really weak without the script. So I'm not really sure what to do with these two, whether we just script them from now on. Yeah, a bit disappointing because Stacy does have good entertainment stats, just seems to be really struggling at the moment compared to Akira, who's turning out to be a real delight in these segments. But nonetheless, good stuff from both women, and yeah, who knows what we'll see next time with Stacy and Akira on SmackDown. And speaking of not knowing what we'll see, it is Mark Henry and Bobby Lashley in the same segment here, because Bobby Lashley is cutting a promo here talking about the victory that he is seeking at WrestleMania, where he will be facing Mark Henry in a rubber match for the ages, don't forget. But yes, this is the scene because Bobby Lashley actually gets sucker punched here by Mark Henry when Teddy Long, returning at long last from his hiatus, distracts Bobby Lashley. So not to spoil things here too much, but we're just introducing Teddy Long here to kind of act as Mark Henry's manager. I know that is an idea that's been done in the past, but honestly, with the stats being what they are, Teddy Long, I'm not sure we're really going to use him in segments that he really has the strong enough caliber to be a regular character on the show. But he does have good popularity stats, so it's not a total loss. And I'm just going to put him with Mark Henry as a manager for now until we come up with any new material for him. And I still think that would be a great spot because Mark, not the strongest when it comes to entertainment stats either, especially when being unscripted. He can certainly hold his own and has the popularity to hold his own as well. So it's, like I said, it's all good. But I think Teddy will be quite well suited to being in the manager position for Mark Henry where we are at the moment. I can definitely see that Crystal's been helping Lashley as we assigned her as a manager there as well. So whenever I don't have a kind of spot creatively for some characters, I'll try putting them as managers because then they can help boost some other talents at the same time. So it's all a big symbiotic relationship at the end of the day. Everyone working to help each other. Get as many green notes as we can. That's what we want. Just as Crystal has helped Lashley here. So I'd love to see that. And yeah, you can definitely see it play out in the segment ratings that are always higher when you've got a manager doing a good job. So yeah, the story here though, is that Mark Henry and Bobby Lashley up until now, I kind of put the physicality aside. We're looking forward to their match. But under the influence of Teddy Long, Mark Henry is regressing to that old kind of angry angry man that we know he can be. So Mark Henry taking a free shot here at Lashley, not beating him down by any means, but just getting a good sucker punch there. Lashley is dazed, and you can only imagine that he'll be wanting to get his own back the next time he crosses paths with Mark Henry. So good stuff from all three guys. And now we are closing in, as we said before, on the main event. Almost time. We've just got one last shot, dual shots, if you like, of the two tag teams that will be involved in that main event. So Rey Mysterio teaming with Tajiri to face the team of JBL and Paul Burchill. Let's get to the match. Open for a good one. Alright, so just short of the 70 mark on this occasion, but still a good match nonetheless. It is JBL and Paul Burchill getting the win here, if you can believe that, because JBL gets the pin on Rey Mysterio when he uses the ropes for leverage there. So a little bit of cheating to make it happen, but JBL has done it. He has beaten Rey Mysterio, so who knows? If those two men end up in the finals, we could be having a repeat of this. But I will say here, one little note that I've picked out among the green is JBL and Paul Burchill show excellent chemistry together. So how do you like that? That's not a bad one, is it? And yeah, happy to see that. But overall, a good performance here. Tajiri especially looking very impressive with a 57 to JBL's 56. Burchill there still struggling a little bit, unfortunately, but overall 69, a very good rating there. And Rey Mysterio, of course, just off in another stratosphere compared to everyone else, as tends to be the way. So a good match here to end SmackDown. And then just before we go off this scene completely, it is Mysterio and Tajiri hitting stereo dives on the celebrating heels. So there you have it. Rey Mysterio and Tajiri getting a little heat back as JBL and Paul Burchill just spend a little bit too much time outside the ring celebrating there. And there you have it. Rey Mysterio and Tajiri coming off the top right with the huge planches and yeah, taking out the heels. So good stuff, definitely, yeah. So yep, decent match overall. Still a few little red markers here which have pulled this segment down, unfortunately. Maybe Burchill is just going to have to be scripted and like it in the future segments, unfortunately. But nonetheless, still a good match and still a good scene for our mid-card. But before we go off the air with SmackDown, we've still got one last segment to address. And wow, what a segment it is. An 85 rating for Randy Orton ambushing Batista as he leaves the arena. So Batista, after cutting that promo earlier, on his way out the door, when Randy Orton, lying in wait, ambushes Batista. Who knows, maybe he hits the punt, maybe there's a steel chair involved, but Orton here just beats the heck out of Batista outside the building and just leaves our World Heavyweight Champion beaten on the tarmac. So Randy Orton has struck, and Dave Batista has felt the wrath of the Viper on this occasion. So the animal is down, and you can only bet that he is going to be ready to retaliate next week when we come back for the go-home show of SmackDown on the way to WrestleMania. So a very nice final segment there, and an overall rating of 78, which is about where we expect SmackDown to be at the moment. So a very good rating. Again, not quite up to the level of Raw, but still certainly a good rating for what was planned to be a quieter show as well. So that is it for March 2006. And folks, what a month that was. So many great shows, so many overachieving angles, a lot of memorable stuff happening in the week of March. And it's all because of WrestleMania. WrestleMania 22, it is coming up in the first week of March 2006. This is it. There is only one episode of TV, both Raw and SmackDown apiece. Only one episode left. That's 2 videos in this series until we reach WrestleMania. So make sure you do not miss the next 2 episodes, because this is our final push to WrestleMania, and I'm going to try my damnedest to make these 2 videos as special and as memorable as they can be leading up to the supercard itself. So there it is, folks, for SmackDown week 4 of March 2006 on TEW 2020 of the Shifting Sands mod. I'm your host, Alex. Have a good day, and like I said, don't miss the next 2 episodes. You're really going to want to see these. But until then, take care, and I'll see you next time.